When it comes to sports in Lorain, your station to watch is TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television.
Welcome back to Savage Hall at the University of Toledo. Tim Elkhorn, Troy DeFranco, Gary Pelter with us as well. Let's bring you the starting lineups for Toledo St. John's, 23-3 on the year. It'll be Ryan Christie, 6'1 senior at 6.8 per ball game, along with 6-foot junior Peyton Moyer. Moyer at 5.9 per contest. Jaden McKinstry, 6'5 sophomore in the starting lineup, averages 5.2. And the two senior stars, Houston King, 6'4 senior, averages 16.5. And Vincent Williams, 6'5 senior, averaging 19.6 points per ball game. For the Titans from Lorain High at 21-5 under head coach John Rossitano, it'll be Cameron Davis, a 5'8 junior at just over 1 point per ball game. Jordan Jackson, a sophomore, 6'4 at 9.2 points and 5 rebounds per game. David Weatherington, the only senior starter, 6'1 at 6.2 per contest. And Lorain has two sensational players in their own right. Tavon Pierre-Louis, 16.1 points, 9 rebounds per game. And Devon Grant, 6'1 junior, averaging 21 points per ball game. Troy DeFranco, we've talked about it. You've heard from the coaches. What's it boiling down to here today?
Well, as we said, I think both teams have two dynamic players. So I think a big key will be who can get both or one of those stars going. But those role players are going to play a critical part. I also think defense, rebounding, and turnover is going to be a critical area to watch tonight.
Lorain takes the floor in their dark blue uniforms. They're the road team. Blue shirts, blue shorts, silver letters and numbers with white trim. St. John's hits the floor in their home whites, and why not? They're basically on their home floor. They're in their home white shirts, white shorts, dark blue letters and numbers, and gold trim. Let's play some regional championship basketball here at John F. Savage Hall. It'll be Vincent Williams against Tavon Pierre-Louis. Ball in the air, tip controlled by the Titans of Toledo St. John's, and we are underway. Into the forecourt comes Ryan Christie. Christie on the left wing against Devon Grant. Christie right in front of the Lorain bench. Bounces it out front to King. King to the foul line. Elevates, shoots. Missed it. Rebound Tavon Pierre-Louis. Outlet pass deflected at the half-court line. Taken away by Moyer. Early turnover for Lorain High. Just underway here at Savage Hall at the University of Toledo. King on the left wing. King outside the three-point arc. Top of the circle to Christie. Ryan Christie, the 6'1 senior. Got it to McKinstry. He'll shoot it and hit it. Jaden McKinstry gives Toledo St. John's the early lead as Lorain heads to the other end. Into the forecourt, Devon Grant. What a tournament run he has had. 34 in the regional semifinal against St. Ed's. Tavon Pierre-Louis on the left side. Lewis in the lane, spun and lost the basketball. Out of there with it comes Williams. Williams into the forecourt. Fires on the left side to McKinstry, who drives, missed the shot. Rebound Williams, powered it back up, no good. Rebound fought for, McKinstry had it, he got tied up. Nice job by Lorain. Possession arrow belongs to the Titans.
Pretty interesting first two defensive positions. The 6'6 Williams that's going to VCU was guarded by the 5'8 Cameron Davis.
John has said all year long, Cameron Davis is our best defender. We'll put him on anybody. Lorain basketball. Tavon Pierre-Louis on the right sideline. Pierre-Louis throws it out front to Davis. Left side to Devon Grant. Grant rid of the circle. Now backs up. Thought about the three. Left side Jackson. His three up. His three in. Great start for the sophomore. Jordan Jackson buries a three. Titans up 3-2. Into the forecourt comes Christie. Christie comes right to the lane. He drives, put it up, and a charge is called on Ryan Christie.
Great job by David Weatherington sliding over and taking that charge.
Lorain basketball, they lead it 3-2. Again, these teams are familiar with each other. They scrimmaged each other back in the fall. Well, John knows a lot about the Titans of St. John's, and certainly Ed Heinzel knows a lot about the Titans of Lorain High in this titanic struggle here today. Lorain basketball. Tavon Pierre-Louis, left side to Weatherington, dropped it in the corner to Devon Grant. He'll drive the baseline in the lane, put it up, popped it in. Devon Grant with his first two.
Great job of adjusting his body in the air right there to finish.
5-2, Lorain with 5 straight points, and they are up. On the right wing, Peyton Moyer. Now they throw it down low to Williams in traffic, had his shot blocked, and a foul will be called as well. That'll put Vincent Williams at the free throw line. That personal on Lorain, whistled on Cameron Davis. A couple of early shout outs to get in. Want to say hello to John Rossitano's sisters. Lynn is listening in today, and Diane out in California. So it's good to have both of them listening in as they root for their brother John as he is coaching the Titans with an opportunity for a Final Four. First free throw by Williams right on the mark. He's a 76% free throw shooter. Second one, big bounce, no good. Rebound grab by Lorain. Titan basketball. They lead it 5-3. Lewis in the lane. Up, no, it fell off, but he got fouled as he went to the rim. And Tavon Pierre-Lewis, boy, we've talked about that all year long. He is not bashful about going right to the bucket.
Oh, he's like a fullback going through the line.
5-3 ball game. Tavon Pierre-Lewis, line left. Sends that first one up, hung on the rim, and it dropped in. And Tavon Pierre-Lewis in the book with his first point. 6-3 Lorain, 5:32 to go here in the opening quarter. Glad you've dialed in. And again, a great big thank you. Joe Bach, WLCS TV 20. Lorain City Schools Television has tapped into our audio feed here today. And all of you folks listening back in Lorain, you can't wait for it to get up on WLCS TV 20. 7-3, Lorain by 4. Into the forecourt comes Toledo St. John's. McKinstry turns, shoots, misses. Rebound Tavon Pierre-Lewis. John Rossitano says push it to the forecourt. Pierre-Lewis into the lane, had the ball knocked out of his hands. And McKinstry with the steal. Got it ahead to Williams. Williams left of the lane, fumbled it, got it back. Forced up a tough shot. It may have been blocked. Out of there with it, Devon Grant. Grant to the forecourt, Grant into the lane, and he had it knocked out of his hands out of bounds.
We talked about Toledo's defense, but Lorain has done a great job defensively this year also, showing early.
7-3, Lorain with a 4-point lead. Left wing, Grant, 3-ball, good! Devon Grant, oh, he loves tournament time. Devon Grant hits the 3, and it's now a 10-3 Titan lead. Great start for Lorain High. On the right wing, Moyer. Got it at the foul line to McKinstry. Back to Moyer. His 3 off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound out of bounds. I think it went off the leg of King. No, they're going to give it to Toledo St. John's.
I tell you, Cam Davis still on Vincent Williams. They got a lot of help. He's fronting them, but Toledo's other guys are taking shots. Coach Rossitano take that all night long.
And on the inbound, we got a foul called. It's on Lorain. We're going to call a hold. Let's see who they called that on. Ooh, they got Cam Davis. That's 2 on Davis. He's going to have to be very careful now. And you wonder if John will switch him off. Yeah, he picks up King now. St. John's basketball. 10-3 Lorain lead. On the right wing, Vincent Williams 3-ball. Missed it badly. Rebound grab by Cam Davis. Here come the Titans with a 7-point lead. Right wing, Jackson shoots and scores. Jordan Jackson with a runner running the lane. 30-second timeout, St. John's. Lorain with a 12-3 lead on our Cleveland Clinic tournament cage matchup.
We make Marines who overpower the desire to quit with the perseverance to prevail. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
Great start for the Lorain High Titans, Troy.
Awesome job. And Jordan Jackson getting going early. You know, we talked about the big 2 stars, Tavon Pierre-Lewis and Devon Grant, but to get Jackson knocking down a couple is huge for Lorain.
Lorain with a 12-3 lead, 4:15 to go here in the first quarter of play. St. John's basketball. Moyer got it out front to McKinstry, around on the left wing to King. King to the baseline, he'll shoot it, he'll miss it. Rebound grab by Jordan Jackson for Lorain High. Here comes Lorain with a 9-point lead. Jackson on the left wing. Jackson drive. Jackson hung it on the rim and it fell off. Rebound grab by Toledo St. John's. Houston King. King to the forecourt. King on the right wing, down in the corner to Moyer. Moyer fires it out front to Williams. Williams whipped it down low. McKinstry wide open, laid it in. 12-5. Lorain's lead is down to 7. Left side of the forecourt, Devon Grant. Up top, 3-ball, around the rim and out. Rebound corralled by Ryan Christie. St. John's with the basketball. Lorain with a 12-5 lead. Christie on the left side. Bounces it on the wing to King. King on the left sideline against Davis. King into the lane. Turns, shoots, around the rim and in. Houston King got the roll. Makes it a 12-7 ball game. Back comes Lorain. Grant left of the lane. Shot up. No, but he got fouled. Devon Grant will shoot 2. He is an outstanding free throw shooter. 82% on the year. That foul on St. John's was called on Houston King. Troy, we've mentioned a couple of times we're here at Savage Hall. And this really is absurd. I just have to say it, and if any members of the Northeast Ohio board are listening, it really needs to be changed. Absolutely ridiculous that St. John's got to play here on Thursday night and numerous games here throughout the year. Lorain, for some reason, goes to Akron on Wednesday, now out here on Saturday. It is absurd.
It really is. There's got to be a better way for it. There's no way that in a regional final you should have already played on the floor one time when the other team hasn't.
I don't know how many split regionals there are in the state, but they really need to look at it. There's absolutely no reason for that to happen.
No, there isn't. There's too many venues.
Devon Grant missed the first, hit the second. So it's now a 13-7 Lorain lead, 3:05 to go. And I know the whole Gene Hackman thing, hey, the basket's 10 feet and all that nonsense, but St. John's knows this floor, and there's no reason to have a split regional. King left wing, 3-ball right there. Houston King hits the 3-ball for St. John's, makes it a 13-10 ball game. Lorain still with the lead, 2:45 to go first quarter, and now out front we got an offensive foul called. Oh, they got Cam Davis, and that's his 3rd. Oh my, that's a big blow for Lorain. Cam Davis was setting a screen, and they got him for an illegal screen, and Davis heads to the bench with 3 fouls. 2:44 to go in the quarter. Jaden Sledge checks in for Lorain. The Lorain bench is thin. They basically play 6 guys, and now with Davis anchored to that bench for a while with 3 fouls, it's the 5 on the floor. They're going to have to get it done. They get it down low to Williams, left of the lane, put it up, nobody got fouled. So they got it into Vincent Williams, and he will head to the line. That foul on Tavon Pierre-Lewis is his first for Lorain High, their 4th team foul.
And one thing Lorain definitely has to do is stay out of foul trouble now, especially with Cam with his 3rd. And Toledo, excellent free throw shooting team, 72% as a team.
First one up and in for Vincent Williams. So Vincent Williams now with 2 points in the ball game, both from the free throw line. 6'5" senior, just a special player.
We mentioned he's got a scholarship offer to VCU, and Houston King has got a offer from Georgetown.
And again, Williams splits a pair, so it's 13-11. Lorain's lead has been trimmed to 2. They were up by 9 at 12-3. You certainly knew that St. John's was going to make a run. And here's Lorain now spreading the floor, trying to buy some time with Davis on the bench. And again, buy some rest. Tavon Pierre-Lewis, right of the lane, comes right of the lane, put it up, missed it. Rebound grab by Ryan Christie. That was great defense by Vincent Williams. Here comes Williams to the forecourt. He drives, put a shot up, no good. Rebound Sledge. Double team, got it ahead to Wetherington. Wetherington right side to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Pierre-Lewis at the 3-point arc for Lorain High. Tavon with his back to the basket, backing in. Tavon into the lane, forced it up off the glass, no rebound, and they'll call a travel on Williams as he fell down. So a break for Lorain as the Titans will inbound. 1:44 to go here in the first quarter. Lorain up by 2, 13-11. Winner plays in Columbus in the Final Four on Friday against Cincinnati Moeller. Moeller won their regional last night by beating Wayne Jackson left of the lane, leans in, no, and a charge is called on the sophomore for Lorain. So Jordan Jackson picks up that foul. And here comes Cameron Thomas, only a freshman, 6'3", ninth grader for Lorain will enter. I think John's going to try to have him ride out the final minute and a half.
Got to pick your spots here to give your kids rest, for sure.
So Cameron Thomas enters. Averages just over a point per ball game. 13-11, Lorain by a bucket, a minute and a half to go first quarter. Division I regional final here in Toledo. Out front, King. King swings it right side to Lichtenberg, who's checked in for St. John's. Braden Lichtenberg. In the corner, King, three ball, beauty. Houston King hits the three, and St. John's has come all the way back. They lead it 14-13. St. John's by a point with 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Grant had his pocket picked by Williams. Williams heads to the other end. Williams left of the lane, drives and scores. Okay. Vincent Williams with his first field goal. It's now 16-13. And the St. John's fans are revved up. They were down by 9. They now lead it by 3. Devon Grant out near the half-court line. Grant with 35 on the clock, left side to Weatherington. Back on the left sideline to Grant. Grant holding a basketball. Grant on the left-hand dribble, guarded by Christie. 25 on the clock. Grant with a look over at John Rossitano. John says spread the floor a little bit. Grant, run to the circle, run to the lane. Puts a shot high off the glass. No good. Rebound grab by Williams. 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. St. John's with the basketball in a 3-point lead. They have gone on a 13-1 run. Out front, ball knocked away from King. Out of there with it, Weatherington, and then his pass knocked out of bounds by King. 1 tick on the clock. So Lorain will have to get up a heave from the backcourt. To be Pierre Lewis. Weatherington half-court shot. Off the rim, no good, and that ends the first quarter. 16-13. St. John's by 3 at the end of 1 on our Cleveland Clinic Tournament Cage matchup on WEOL Troy Online.
At WEOL.com.
For the thousands of wounded warriors returning from battle, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program. A unique program that helps wounded warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. The Warriors to Work program also works with employers to find the right job for the right warrior. Contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
I began in 3rd grade, 8 years old, and I was able to learn the chest compressions and the breaths. And I absolutely believe that anyone out in the public can easily learn. We got a page for an unresponsive 2-month-old, and when I got the first glimpse of the 2-month-old, he was blue. We didn't even get to go inside. I just jumped in the back and we started CPR, continuing CPR, and you were able to see the color start to come back, and then we were able to actually get his heart rate back. It was a pretty moving part in the story that we were able to save a 2-month-old's life. My community is why.
St. John's basketball as we start the second quarter of play. Left wing 3-ball up, hung on the rim, no good. Rebound grab by Tavon Pierre Lewis. Pierre Lewis left of the lane, down the lane, got by Williams, and then Williams blocked the shot from behind. What a play by Williams. Here comes St. John's. Williams down the lane, drives and scores. Boy, the big, powerful young man makes it a 18-13 ball game. Williams now with 6. At the other end, Lorain with the basketball. They're down by 5. Jackson, run of the lane, into the lane. He put it up, good on the foul! Jordan Jackson with a chance for a 3-point play. Boy, how about the sophomore in the early first half?
He's not playing like a sophomore. This is the most aggressive. We've seen him play a few times. This is the most aggressive we've seen him. Good sign for Lorain.
Drew that foul from Jaden McKinstry, and that's now 2 on McKinstry for Toledo St. John's. So here's Jordan Jackson at the free throw line, a 58% free throw shooter. Sends it up, missed it. A rebound on the floor, grabbed by Williams. 18-15, Toledo St. John's by 3. 7:10 to go, first half. In the right corner, King thought about the 3. King got it back out front to Vincent Williams. Williams matched up against Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Williams right side King, his 3 is up, no good. Long rebound, Devon Grant has it for Lorain. Devon Grant to the forecourt. Grant stutter steps now into the lane. Right side Sledge, 3 ball up, 3 ball way off, and it will simply go out of bounds. Jaden Sledge, I think he rushed that one a little bit.
Yeah, he did. I'll tell you, St. John's did a nice job after that 13-4 run by Lorain. He said he wasn't going to change his defenses at all, but he's gone after Grant and tried to limit his touches, and that's made a big difference.
I think one thing you got to watch for Lorain here in this ball game, about their last 7 possessions, they've come down, had 1 shot, and it's gone back the other way, guys.
King hits a 3 from the top of the key for St. John's, and King makes it a 21-15 ball game. He has 3 threes in the contest. That gives him 50 on the year. 6-point lead for Toledo St. John, 6:15 to go, first half. We're at Savage Hall at the University of Toledo. Jackson on the right wing for Lorain. The sophomore off to a good start with 7. Jackson comes right to the lane, gave it up to Sledge, top of the key to Lewis, left side Grant. Grant at the 3-point arc, pulls up, shoots, around the rim and out, rebound Williams. A lot of jump balls, a lot of long shots for Lorain. In the left corner, 3 ball up, no good. Rebound knocked out front. Grabbed by King, his 3 is up, around the rim and out. Rebound Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Had it knocked out of his hands, got it back. Tavon Pierre-Lewis to the forecourt. Lewis in the lane, little runner, good! Tavon Pierre-Lewis, his first field goal, makes it 21-17.
He does such a nice job of getting the ball off the glass and getting it down the floor in a hurry.
Lorain hanging around. They're within 4 with 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half of play. In the ball game now, Kyron Bolden gave it to Williams. Tough shot. Good, and a foul. Oh, my. What a shot by Vincent Williams. And he's got a chance for a 3-point play. They called that one on Tavon Pierre-Lewis. That's 2 on Tavon. Again, Cam Davis anchored on that Lorain bench with 3 fouls. Here's Vincent Williams. 2 of 4 from the free throw line this afternoon. Sends it up, got it. He's got a 9-point first half, and it's a 24-17 St. John's lead. So after Lorain was up by 9 in the first quarter, they now trail by 7. Jackson, top of the circle, hits the brakes, gave it off to Devon Grant. Grant comes around a Jaden Sledge pick. Grant in between the circles, stutter steps, top of the key jumper, right there! Was it a 2? Yes, they gave him a 2 on that. He was right on the line. Grant makes it 24-19. What a crossover by Devon Grant. Lorain back to within 5. I think Cam Davis is at the scorer's table. Out front, King. King comes around a pick. Left wing jumper off the mark. Rebound Devon Grant. Grant spins away from a defender. Grant into the forecourt. Grant right side Jackson. Jackson right of the lane, hits the brakes. Right corner to Grant. Devon Grant drives the baseline, and he got pushed on that baseline. The foul will be called on Toledo St. John's. They got King with that one. Houston King picks up his 2nd. And for St. John's, that'll be their 5th team foul. And King will take a seat with those 2 fouls. Here comes Cam Davis back in with 3 fouls for Lorain.
Got to play very smart with 3.
24-19, Lorain down by 5. Lorain with the basketball. Davis on the floor with 3 fouls. Left side Jackson, 3 ball. Good! Oh, what a game for the sophomore! He's in double figures with 10. 24-22, Lorain back to within a bucket. Jackson averages 9.2 per game. He's got 10 in the first half. Williams into the forecourt for St. John's. Met by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Williams right of the lane, cut off. Williams in the lane, put it up, and what do we got? Oh, did they just get a foul? Well, I thought they had a 1-1 up. It was just 1. That's on Jordan Jackson. Well, it looked like Williams kind of cleared some space. But that foul on Jackson is his second, and it puts Lorain over the limit. So here's Vincent Williams at the free throw line. Williams, a 6'5" senior, averages 19.6 per game. First one up and in.
He leads their team in points, assists, rebounds, and steals at 6'5".
He's a special player. Ed Heinzel compared him to Jimmy Jackson insofar as making everyone around him better. Maybe not the same skill set. 26-22 as Williams hit them both. Davon Pierre-Louis into the forecourt for Lorain, out front to Sledge, right side to Jordan Jackson. The sophomore having an afternoon. Jackson fires it left side, Wetherington, open three, off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, Jackson had it knocked out of his hands. Jackson got it back, but he threw it to Williams. Here comes Williams for St. John's. Vincent Williams at the top of the circle, now backs up with the basketball. The left side to Masopoulos, who's checked in. Dimitri Masopoulos now in the game. This is a deep St. John's team as Ed Heinzel can get about 5 guys off that bench. 3:25 to go first half. St. John's with the ball in a 4-point lead. Williams double teamed at the top of the circle. Got it back to Masopoulos. Masopoulos hands it right back to Williams. Williams out front against Tavon Pierre-Louis. Williams dribbles to the right wing. Williams comes around a pick at the top of the key. Williams backs up, shoots, missed it. Rebound grab by Jaden Sledge for Lorain. Here come the Titans down by 4. Grant on the left wing. Devon Grant, and a little bit of a push right there, and they'll call the foul on Kyron Bolden. So Bolden picks up his first for Toledo St. John's. And that'll get Braden Lichtenberg back in the ball game for Toledo St. John's as Bolden will take a seat.
Sometimes it's amazing how much the officiating changes.
Timeout taken on the floor. We'll take a break. 2:58 to go first half. 26-22. Lorain down 4 on our Cleveland Clinic tournament cage matchup.
In an instant, life can change. Hi, I'm veteran J.R. Martinez. If you've been hurt or disabled due to your service, the last thing you need to do is hurry up and wait for a VA claims decision. Make sure you file an electronic, fully developed claim or e-claim for disability compensation on e-benefits. It's the fastest and easiest way to get a claims decision. Learn more at ebenefits.va.gov. E-claims and e-benefits, online VA claims made simple.
30-second timeout taken by Lorain. They're down 4, 26-22 in this regional final here at Savage Hall at the University of Toledo. Tim Alcorn, former Midview head coach Troy DeFranco, Gary Pelter keeping track of some numbers. Gary, anything that jumps off your sheet?
Well, the big thing that I've noticed so far is offensive rebounds for Lorain. I've only got them with 1 offensive board so far, Tim.
So it's one and done. You better hit your shot. Here's Lorain with the basketball. Off that timeout, it was taken by John Rossitano, so each team now with 4 timeouts left. Jackson out near the half-court line. He's just going to hold that ball. I love this strategy. You're down 4. You're playing with basically 6 guys, and they're just standing out there right now saying, we'll get some rest. Jackson just holding the ball at the half-court line. 2:25 to go. Jackson now dribbles to the top of the circle. Jackson, run of the lane, runner off the glass is good! Jordan Jackson with a dozen. 26-24. Lorain back to within 2 with 2:10 to go in the half. Into the forecourt comes Dimitri Masopoulos. Masopoulos right side to Lichtenberg, gave it on the wing to Masopoulos. Masopoulos out front to Ryan Christie, swings it on the left side to Peyton Moyer. Moyer gave it on the wing to Lichtenberg. Lichtenberg down the right side to Christie. Christie out front to Vincent Williams. He's got a great game going with 11. 1:45 to go here in the first half. St. John's by 2. What else would you expect in a regional championship? A trip to the Final Four on the line. Williams with his back to the basket. Williams backing in. Got it out front. Left side to Christie. Down in the corner. They feed it to Moyer. Back out front to Christie. 1.5 minutes to go. And now the Titan fans, the Lorain Titan fans that is, exhorting their defense. Got to watch using Titans here this afternoon. Both teams are the Titans. Williams on the left side. Cross-court pass, right corner, Lichtenberg. Got it out front to Moyer. Back on the left side to Williams. Williams guarded by Tavon Pierre-Louis. Williams left of the lane, tough shot. Oh, they call a foul on Tavon Pierre-Lewis. John Rossitano does not like that, and boy, he's giving the official the old Tommy Heinsohn stare right there.
I mentioned officiating before that last time out. This game, there are a lot of fouls being called. Against St. Ed's, there was nothing being called. We had 14 team fouls. I think we had 3 through the half the other night.
Williams hits the first free throw. So Vincent Williams now with a dozen. So you've got Tavon Pierre-Lewis with 3 and Cam Davis with 3. And Tavon's going to take a seat as Cameron Thomas checks back in, the freshman. Well, Lorain's going to try to get through this final minute 05 without Lewis out there. Second free throw missed by Vincent Williams. So it's a 27-24 Toledo St. John's lead. Jackson into the forecourt. What a first half he has had. Jackson out front against Williams. Jackson, right of the lane, leans in, bank shot, no, but they call a charge. They call a charge on Jordan Jackson. That's now 3 on Jordan Jackson. Well, Ed Heinzel mentioned during our pregame show, a lot will determine on how this game is called. How's it been called? Jordan Jackson with 3, Tavon Pierre-Lewis with 3, Cameron Davis with 3.
Peyton Moore did a nice job sliding in, taking that charge on Jackson.
48.3 seconds to go. And St. John's with the basketball in a 3-point lead. Williams into the forecourt. So now they've got Wetherington on Williams. Right side to King. King matched up against Devon Grant. Well, they feed it in the middle. St. John's may try to run it all the way down here, which I don't think John Rossitano would mind, actually.
You got a couple guys on the bench with 3 fouls.
20 seconds to go in the half. Vincent Williams on the left wing. Williams backs up with the basketball. 15 on the clock. St. John's by 3. Williams on the left side. Williams with 10 on the clock. Fires it in the right corner. 3 ball up, no good. Rebound, no good. Rebound comes to Grant. 3 on the clock. Grant to the forecourt. Unloads a 3. In and out at the buzzer. Lorain down by 3 at the half. 27-24. St. John's on top in our Cleveland Clinic tournament cage matchup on WEOL and Troy Online.
At WEOL.com.
Hi, my name is Tyler Strong. I'm 17 years old and I just finished 12th grade at Lorain High School. I was in the Welding Career Tech Education Program. I will tell you that welding is very different and very enjoyable. I wound up into welding my senior year and after my first semester and fell in love with it. It's kind of like an art. It's different every day. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the difficulty of the program 6 to a 7. You got to keep doing it until you get it right. I did the very best I could in the welding program and it really paid off. I got admitted to Lincoln Electric Welding School, which is the leader in the world for welding products and equipment. My teacher helped me out and he called and spoke to the manager and got me into the school. My advice to anyone unsure what they want to study, it doesn't hurt to try. If you think you might like welding, take the class, check it out. What I love about welding is you can physically see the results of everything you do. It's all in your hands. I know what I'm doing with my future and I'm doing it thanks to Lorain High's Welding Manufacturing Career Tech program.
Stop. Whether it's on the way to school, at school, or online, bullying has become a non-stop threat to our youth today. Is your child being bullied? The National Runaway Switchboard can help. If you're having a hard time, get online or call to chat now.
For too many parents, a baby's first steps aren't just a milestone. They're a miracle. A miracle made possible by volunteers like you, who walk and raise money in March for Babies. Sign up today to take the steps that help make milestones and even miracles possible. Who will you march for?
Hi, my name is George Click. I'm 16 years old and in 10th grade at Lorain High School. I'm studying video production through Lorain High's Career Tech Education program. My first class was video production itself, and my second class was web design. I have a big imagination. Video production is a great release for it. The program is fun, interactive, and hands-on. You learn about the cameras and their functions in a comfortable environment. You spend a lot of time editing video using Adobe Photoshop and Premiere. My video production instructor, Mr. Trout, helped me a lot. He helps you with anything you need help with. He's good at explaining how things work. Taking this video production class is what really made me want to go into this field. This program at Lorain High helped give me confidence. I now know that this is what I want to do, and it's all thanks to Lorain High's video production career tech program.
Lorain down by 3, 27-24 at the half. Gary Pelter, what's the stat sheet tell us?
Well, looking at the stat sheet for the halftime stats for Toledo St. John's, they were 9 of 25 from the field for 36%. They were 3 of 10 from three-point range for 30% from outside the arc. And from the free throw line, they were 6 of 4 for 67% from the charity stripe. For the Lorain High Titans, they were 9 of 20 from the field in the first half of play for 45%. Incidentally, in that second quarter, they were 5 of 10 for 50%. From three-point range, 3 of 8 for 38%, and 3 of 5 from the free throw line for 60%. Looking at the turnovers, St. John's with 3 turnovers, Lorain High with 7. In the rebounding department, St. John's with 3 offensive rebounds, Lorain High with 0 rebounds offensively. Defensively, Toledo St. John's with 11 defensive boards, Lorain High with 16 defensive boards, each team with a block shot. The one thing that is really kept Lorain in the ball game is they've shot decent from the field. They were, like I said, 5 of 10 from 50% because they're only getting 1 shot, Tim.
Troy DeFranco, keys to the second half.
Well, I think for Lorain, St. John's adjusted their defense to take Grant out of it, so they're going to have to run some screens and get him some looks, try to keep Jordan Jackson getting the basketball. And other than a few possessions where they lost King from the three-point line and a couple turnovers, I think Lorain played a good half, and foul trouble is going to be a concern this half.
All right, here we go. Second half about to get underway. Glad you've dialed in. And again, a great big thank you, Joe Bach, WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. Utilizing our audio feed today, you folks in Lorain will be able to watch this one pretty quickly as part of TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television. Don't forget about their YouTube channel. Here we go, Lorain with the basketball as we start the second half of play. Davis fires left side to Weatherington, left wing to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. The original 5 on the floor for Lorain: Jackson, Pierre-Lewis, Grant, Weatherington, and Davis. Grant on the left wing. Grant outside the three-point arc. Lorain going left to right. Grant left the lane runner. Nobody got fouled. They're trying to get Devon going here in the third quarter. And Devon Grant will shoot 2 free throws. That foul is on Ryan Christie. That is his second. Here's Devon Grant. 83% free throw shooter. Right down below us, line right. Sends that first one up and in. Devon Grant coming off that sensational regional semifinal ball game against St. Ed's when he poured in 34 points, 8 of 8 from the free throw line in the overtime.
And all 12 of Lorain's points in overtime.
And he hit them both. He's in double figures with 10. And the Titans are within 1. Lorain, that is. Lorain down 27-26. As the Titans from St. John's head to the forecourt down to our left. St. John's basketball. McKinstry on the right side. And down low, we got some bumping. And the foul will be on Lorain. Let's see who they get. It's on David Weatherington. That's the first on Weatherington. Again for Lorain, Jackson with 3, Tavon Pierre-Lewis with 3, and Cameron Davis with 3. St. John's trying to inbound, ball knocked away and went out of bounds, and it belongs to Lorain High. So Lorain High gets it with a chance to take the lead. Again, they were up 9 in the first, down 7 in the second. Seems like they've weathered that storm.
They have. It should be a good ball game the rest of the half.
7:10 to go here in quarter number 3. Grant on the left wing. Lob to Pierre-Lewis, put it up, and it fell off. When they ran the alley-oop, Tavon couldn't convert. Here comes Vincent Williams into the forecourt for Toledo St. John's against Weatherington. Into the lane, leans in, put it up, no. Rebound put back up, no. Rebound tipped up and in, and they'll call a foul on Toledo St. John's. Take the bucket away. I think they got Vincent Williams with a bit of a push. I think it was on Vincent Williams, and that's his first. Gary Pelter and I were reminiscing on the ride up 32 years ago on a Saturday afternoon regional final here in Toledo. Oberlin taking on a Toledo team, Toledo Maycomber. Went to the Final Four. We were here to call it. Will history repeat itself for a Lorain County team here today? That was one of the most memorable games I ever did. Grant, foul line shot, good, and the Titans lead. Devon Grant puts Lorain on top 28-27.
Tough shot right over Houston King.
Into the forecourt comes Toledo St. John's. Well, that regional here in '86. Bob Walsh's Oberlin, then Indians. Beat Willard in the regional semifinal and beat Jimmy Jackson's Toledo Maycomber team in the regional championship game. Williams right to the lane, big shot, no good. Rebound, Devon Grant. Here comes Lorain with a 1-point lead. Grant on the right wing with a stutter step against King. Step back, jumper, good! Devon Grant, oh, he's special.
You're seeing a little swagger in Lorain's step again.
30-27, Lorain by 3. Williams on the left wing, cross-court pass, right side, Moyer. 3-ball up, we're tied. Moyer with his first points of the night. Knocks the game at 30 apiece. Peyton Moyer with his 27th 3-ball of the year. Davis lobs it underneath, Tavon Pierre-Lewis up, no rebound, saved in nicely by McKinstry. Boy, they couldn't quite get it to fall. 30-30 ball game, 5:10 to go, third quarter. King on the right side against Davis. Boy, Cam's got to be careful. He's got 4 fouls. King got it out front to Christie. Christie on the right side to Houston King. King to the foul line. Davis stole the ball. Now there's a scramble for it. We got a scrum in the paint. Boy, there's 9 guys down there. They're really battling. And now tempers are flaring. And now they're going to separate some guys. And now the Lorain fans here on the near side are up on their feet, loving the effort from the guys in blue. Possession arrow belongs to Lorain.
Real nice job of officiating there when they all got in there. All 3 officials came in, separated them. You don't want anything to happen in a regional final.
And now the officials want to talk things over. The officials are going to have a discussion as to what ensued. I'm not sure they got a foul right there.
He signaled jump ball down here.
So the possession arrow belongs to Toledo St. John's. 30-30 ball game with 4:56 to go here in the third quarter of play. Division I regional championship. Lorain looking ahead to the Final Four. If they get there, they'll play Moeller Friday afternoon at 5:15 at the Jerome Schottenstein Center. I was just there on Thursday night.
You've been making put a lot of miles on your car.
I've done the Ohio College tour this week. I did Akron on Wednesday, Ohio State Thursday, Toledo on Saturday. On the right side, King drives the baseline, pulls up, shot blocked by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Out of there with it, Grant. Grant to the foul line, into the lane, runner, no good. Rebound, Tavon Pierre-Lewis, and Lewis gets called for the charge. He lowered that shoulder. And that's going to be 4 fouls on Tavon Pierre-Lewis. That's going to get Sledge in the ball game.
Vincent Williams taking that charge.
So Tavon sits down with 4 fouls. 4:39 to go here in the third. All right, we'll mark this. 4th foul on Tavon Pierre-Lewis in a 30-30 ball game. Sledge checks in. It's a small Lorain lineup now. On the left side, Peyton Moyer got it out front to Christie. Christie, 3-ball, hit the side of the backboard. Rebound grab by Jordan Jackson. Jackson fouled by Vincent Williams. Williams tried to reach it and steal it. And instead, the potential Ohio Mr. Basketball picks up his 2nd foul.
You mentioned Lorain's size out there with Lewis on the bench. They're going to have to do a really good job on the boards here with him out.
Devon Grant to the forecourt. Grant, hesitation dribble, now backs up with the basketball. 4:15 to go. Grant fires it left side to Jordan Jackson. Jackson with a 12-point first half has yet to score here in the third quarter. They get it on the right wing to Devon Grant. Spins to the baseline, heads to the bucket, laid it up with the left hand and dropped it in. Devon Grant with 16, 32-30. Lorain regains the advantage. Into the forecourt, Vincent Williams for St. John's. Williams into the lane, in the right corner to Moyer. His three right there. Peyton Moyer, he has found his spot in that corner. 33-32, St. John's by 1. 3:40 to go here in quarter number 3. We're at Savage Hall at the University of Toledo. Out front, Jordan Jackson. Jackson hands the ball off to Sledge. The third quarter has been Sledge's quarter in the tournament. Jackson in between the circles. Jackson to the left wing, pulls up, shoots. Tough shot, and he hit it. Oh, what a shot by Jackson. A coming out party for the sophomore. 34-33, Lorain in front by 1. That was a tough jumper from the left wing. Williams in the lane, turnaround shot good. Well, he took advantage of his height in that low block.
Got Weatherington down in the paint. Got his feet under him, able to finish.
35-34. St. John's by 1. Out front, 3. Good! Oh my! Devon hit it from Bowling Green.
That's like deja vu with Antonio Blanton about from half court.
And Devon's heating up. He's got 11 in the third quarter, 19 overall. 37-35 on a long-distance bomb from Devon Grant. Lorain by 2. Williams at the top of the key. Left side to King. King. Now they swing it right side to Moyer. Moyer got it out front to Christie. Ryan Christie back on the left side to Masopoulos, who's checked in. He's swinging over on the right side to King. King against Davis. He lost Davis. He shoots. He misses. Rebound grab by Weatherington. Ball stolen away. And then it's knocked out of the hands of Masopoulos, and it goes back to Lorain High. Boy, both guys went sprawling. No fouls. Lorain gets it back, leading by 2. And I think this is John Rossitano's great coaching. Get it to Devon. That was his post-game comment after the overtime win on Wednesday. John with that self-deprecating humor. Tim, it was my great coaching. I said, get it to Devon. Lorain by 2. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter of play. Devon Grant near the half-court line. Grant on the left-hand dribble. Left side to Jordan Jackson. He gave it right back to Devon Grant. Grant against Masopoulos. Grant comes around a Weatherington pick. Grant lost the ball on the left wing. Out of there with it, Masopoulos. Masopoulos to the forecourt. Gave it behind him to King. Got it out front to Christie. Christie top of the circle to Williams. Feeds it left side to Moyer. Moyer throws it down low to Williams. Williams on Weatherington. Backing in. Williams into the lane. Hooked it up and ties the game. And again, that size advantage. Lorain doesn't have any size down in the post. 37-37.
They might have to start double teaming when he gets the ball down in the post.
1:10 to go. Jackson on the right wing. Jackson bounce out front to Weatherington. A lot of clock to kill right here for Lorain. Let's see what John elects to do. 1 minute to go. Jackson top of the key. The sophomore to the foul line. Into the lane. Put it up. Nobody got fouled. How about the ball game for the 10th grader? It'll be Jordan Jackson shooting 2 as he was able to draw that foul from Peyton Moyer. Moyer picks up his first. So here's Jordan Jackson, 6'4" sophomore, 58% free throw shooter, big bounce and no good on the first.
With Tavon on the bench, they've had David Weatherington on him. He's battling down there, but at 6'1", he's giving up 4 inches. It's tough to double, though, that when you got guys shooting threes, too.
Here's Jackson right down below us. Line right, sends it up, short, rebound into the corner, and it went off Williams of St. John. So a break for the Lorain Titans. It'll be Lorain ball. 54.8 to go in the third. We are tied at 37 in this regional final. Inbound, shoved out front to Cameron Davis. Davis out near the half-court line, just dribbling the basketball. Boy, Lorain would settle for the final shot of the quarter here in a 37-37 tie. Davon Pierre-Lewis sitting on the bench. 40 seconds to go. Davis walks to the center circle, still on the dribble.
St. John's, the only thing they're doing is denying Grant the ball. Everybody else is playing off, content for him to run down the clock, but they're not going to let Grant get this ball. Masopoulos is going to face guard him.
25 seconds to go. Don't forget Ohio State Gonzaga tonight right here on WEOL. I guess I've got time to get that plug in while Davis dribbles the basketball. Buckeyes and Gonzaga right here on WEOL. 12 seconds to go. Davis just dribbling the ball. And now John Rossitano says run it. Davis to the right side. Comes around a Grant screen. Davis comes underneath the hoop. Up with the left hand. No good. Rebound Williams. 3 on the clock. Williams to the half-court line. Lost it. Got it back. Unloads a 3. No. And that ends the quarter. We are tied 37-37 as we head to the fourth in this Division I regional final. It's our Cleveland Clinic Tournament cage matchup on WEOL and Troy Online.
At WEOL.com.
Inspiring city and campus. Inspiring people. Inspiring creativity. Inspiring hands-on learning. Inspiring global experiences. Inspiring traditions. Be a Buckeye. Inspire.
I will be coming up on retirement, and the VA benefits will play a very important part in my life.
You may have earned valuable veterans benefits from your military service.
I decided that it was time to go to college and pursue my career.
I was able to buy this house.
Learn more about your eligibility, even how to apply online using eBenefits.
The VA benefits made a real difference in my life.
I wouldn't be where I am today if it hadn't been for my VA benefits.
Don't wait. Apply for your VA benefits today.
Every year, the Salvation Army serves nearly 30 million people in need. That's one person every second. So by the time you've finished watching this, 30 more lives will have been changed for good. All thanks to your donations.
Thank you.
Ready to start the fourth quarter of play in a 37-37 tie here at Savage Hall at the University of Toledo. Davon Pierre-Lewis checked out of the ball game when it was tied at 30. So Lorain kept it even, and now Tavon back in the game to start the fourth quarter with those 4 fouls in a 37-37 tie. Davon Pierre-Lewis in between the circles. Lewis to the baseline, hits the brakes, fires it out front, ball deflected, and grabbed by Cam Davis for Lorain. Shoots it to the left side and fired it right by Devon Grant out of bounds.
Bad turnover there for Lorain.
Timeout situation, each team has 4 remaining. Ed Heinzel of Toledo St. John's and John Rossitano of Lorain have each taken a 30-second timeout. And now Ed Heinzel having a conversation with one of the officials down there. Not sure what that's about. And now Toledo St. John's will inbound. 37-37 early fourth quarter here in Toledo. Glad you've dialed in, hoping you're enjoying it. Left side of the forecourt, Ryan Christie. Christie off on the right wing to Peyton Moyer. Moyer had a couple of big threes in the third for St. John's. And now down low, we got some bumping going on between Williams and Wetherington. And they got David Wetherington. Wetherington picks up his second. And for Lorain High, that is team foul number 3. Yes. Titans to or Toledo St. John's to inbound. On the right side, Moyer. Moyer got it out front to Ryan Christie. Christie feeds it to King. King left of the lane, into the lane, put it up, missed it. Rebound grab by Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis shoots it ahead to Devon Grant. Grant on the left wing. He had an electric third quarter when he poured in 11. He's got 19, and he's fouled out front by Dimitri Masopoulos. Grant got a great crossover dribble.
The way he handles the basketball, it's elite. It really is.
Former Elyria Catholic head coach Bob Junta, when he worked with me on the radio, used to say it's like the ball's on a string. Remember Bob saying that. Lorain basketball in a 37-37 tie. 6:50 to go. Grant on the right wing for Lorain High, matched up against Masopoulos. Grant, little crossover dribble. Grant to the baseline, now backs up, now spins to the baseline. He'll shoot it, he'll hit it. Devon Grant putting on a show in Toledo.
He cleared out that side and said, let me take this.
39-37, Lorain by a bucket. Playing for a trip to Columbus. Williams outside the three-point arc, fires right side to Masopoulos. Masopoulos to the free throw line, hands it off to Moyer, back to Masopoulos, and now they are double teaming Williams down in that low block. Masopoulos into the lane, he's got nowhere to go, finally got it to Williams on the left side. Williams fires right side, three ball up, no good, as Moyer finally missed one. Rebound grab by Lorain. Jackson with the basketball. Boy, the sophomore has been sensational today. Gave it off to Devon Grant. 5:55 to go. Lorain with the ball in a 2-point lead. Grant out near the half-court line. Grant, one of the lane, the runner, big bounce at the top of the backboard, fell off, rebound knocked out front. Moyer has it, bounces it to Christie. Christie on the right side to Williams. He missed the layup. Rebound, Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Lewis to the forecourt. Lewis at the top of the key. Left corner to Weatherington. Weatherington, lob out front to Devon Grant. Grant had it knocked out of his hands from behind by Williams. He never saw Vincent Williams coming. That was a great defensive play by Williams. Great play. 5:20 to go. Devon never saw him coming. And a timeout taken by St. John's. 39-37, full timeout. Lorain by 2 on our Cleveland Clinic Tournament Cage matchup on WEOL Troy Online.
At WEOL.com.
Sergeant Michelle Garcia served meritoriously in Iraq and has the medals to prove it. Soon after leaving the Navy, Lieutenant Chris Scott found a job, a home, and started a family of his own. Corpsman Richard Stokely took the skills he learned in Vietnam and put them to good use as a paramedic. But soon after leaving the military, each of these veterans fell on hard times and faced homelessness. Even after Michelle lost all her savings, even after Chris wasn't able to pay his mortgage, and even after Richard battled alcoholism for years, they each reached out for help when they needed it most. A simple phone call put them in touch with a trained professional from the Department of Veterans Affairs. That call got Michelle a place to stay until she could afford one of her own, put Chris in touch with employment assistance, and found Richard a substance abuse program. These veterans are success stories not only for how they were able to help others while serving their country, but for how they were able to let others help them. If you know of or are a veteran in need, make the call.
St. John's takes their second timeout. Lorain with a 2-point lead, 39-37. 5:17 to go, fourth quarter here in Toledo. Tim Elkhorn, Troy DeFranco. Great big hello to all of you dialed in out there on the radio, on the mobile app, online. Glad you're enjoying this one. I've got numerous texts and tweets and Facebook messages. Can't get all those shout-outs in today. My goodness, but we thank you all. King on the right side will shoot a 19-footer and tie the game. Houston King with a jumper off that timeout, and we are knotted up at 39. Under 5 minutes to go here in Toledo. Into the forecourt comes Devon Grant for Lorain. He's got a game-high 21. They feed it in the left corner to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Shoots it out front to Jackson. Jackson on the left wing, right in front of head coach John Rossitano. Back in the corner to Tavon Pierre-Lewis. Brings it all the way out front to Cam Davis. Left wing to Jackson. Feeds it in the lane to Grant. Grant fouled as he went up with the shot. Houston King walloped him from behind. And Devon Grant will shoot 2.
Nice job of Devon Grant coming off that curl screen, finding him going to the hoop.
By the way, a very happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you out there. Celebrate safely.
See a lot of green throughout the stands here.
We do. Here's Devon Grant looking to break a tie. First one up, hung it on the rim, and it fell in. 82% free throw shooters will take that one. Wow, that used every inch of the iron.
We're not used to seeing him hit the iron at all.
It's usually nothing but net. Grant now with 22. Second one up, perfect. Devon with 23. Lorain again with a 2-point lead, 41-39. 4.5 minutes to go for Lorain High. Can they hang on and punch their ticket to Columbus next Friday? Williams on the right wing. Williams with a stutter step. Williams against Wetherington. He tries to put it up, no, and he got fouled. David Wetherington can't believe it. So Vincent Williams will shoot 2. So Wetherington picks up his 3rd. So you've got Tavon Pierre-Lewis with 4, Jackson with 3, Wetherington with 3, Cameron Davis with 3. Vincent Williams, line left, shooting 2. First one up and in. 76% free throw shooter, 17 points this afternoon, averages 19.6, and it's 41-40. Got that dark blue 32 trimmed in gold on his home white St. John's uniform. Missed the second, rebound Devon Grant. 41-40. Lorain by 1 as we approach the halfway point of the 4th quarter. Hang on as Lorain now spreads it out. Grant on the left side, right in front of the scorer's table. Grant against Houston King. Grant takes a couple of dribbles. Grant fires it out front to Jordan Jackson. Jackson, the sophomore, had an outstanding first half. Jordan Jackson matched up against Christie. Jackson, double team, got it back to Devon Grant, 3:45 to go. Grant fakes the pass, holding on to the basketball. Lorain by 1, 3:40 to go. Grant left side to Jackson, timeout Titans. That's Lorain, 41-40, full timeout by John Rossitano. They've got the ball in a 1-point lead on our Cleveland Clinic tournament cage matchup on WEOL and Troy Online.
At WEOL.com.
John Rossitano in that huddle.
I think, you got 1-point lead. You're taking a good shot. You're trying to get the ball in Grant's hands and let him do his thing. Spread him out again.
And the inbounds pass deflected. Tavon Pierre-Lewis has it on the sideline. Shoots it out front to Jackson in the center circle to Devon Grant. 41-40. Lorain with the ball and a 1-point lead. Grant got it to Wetherington, right back to Devon Grant. Grant on King. King knocked it out of his hands. Grant got it back near the half-court line. Grant matched up against Houston King. That's an elite player against another one. Grant on the right sideline, lost it out of bounds. King stuck his hand in there. Grant tried to get it back, and it went off Devon out of bounds. 3:10 to go. Masopoulos will come out. Peyton Moyer will check in for St. John's. What an effort by Lorain here today, and they're up by 1, 41-40. As we hit the 3-minute mark here in the 4th quarter of play. Vincent Williams on the right sideline. Comes around a King pick. Now gave it off to King. King right in front of his own bench. King, top of the circle to Christie. Christie left side to Lichtenberg, who's now in for St. John's. 2:45 on the clock. Moyer out front. Left sideline to Williams. Williams on Wetherington. Williams, left of the key, fires right corner to Moyer. Moyer chucks it back out front to Williams. 2:35 to go. Williams at the 3-point arc. Left side to Christie. Christie just holding the basketball. Christie against Devon Grant. Christie will now back up with it, and he gave it off to Houston King. 2:20 on the clock. King left of the lane, pulls up, shoots, and hits. Houston King with a 2-ball. And St. John's on top, 42-41. And boy, the ball got away on the inbounds, and that allows St. John's to make a substitution. Wow, they get Masopoulos back in there. Here comes Lorain, down by 1 with 2:10 to go. Grant on the right side against King. Grant between his legs on the dribble. Grant into the lane. He scooped. He scored! Devon Grant puts Lorain on top. Titans lead with 1:43-42. Williams fires left side. Moyer in the corner. Got it back out front to Christie. Christie at the top of the key. Lorain with a 1-point lead. 1:40 to go. On the right side, Christie. Christie outside the three-point arc. Down in the corner to Moyer. Moyer with 1:35 to go. Left wing to Williams. Williams left of the lane. Banged into a player. Put it up and in. Weatherington tried to take the charge. No whistle, and Williams gives St. John's a 1-point lead at 44-43. Grant, right of the lane. And Grant fouled. And that's going to put St. John's over the limit. And Grant heads to the free throw line with 1:16 on the clock. That foul is on King. Boy, it looked like Weatherington had great position, but no whistle on the bucket by Vincent Williams.
I tell you, a big foul on Houston King, his fourth. He's the one that's been on Devon Grant here lately.
Grant at the line with 1:16 to go. Lorain down 1. Grant missed the front end of the 1-and-1. Devon Grant missed the front end. Here comes St. John's with a 1-point lead. Williams out front against Weatherington. Vincent Williams. Weatherington defending him. Williams got it off to Christie, right back to Williams. Under a minute to go. Williams double teamed and fouled. And now Williams takes a bit of a slap at Weatherington. 55.7 to go. And that foul on Lorain is only their 5th team foul. For Weatherington, that is his 4th. So Lorain still has 1 foul to give. Sledge in. Davis, well, they wanted to get Weatherington out of there. There we go. Davis had headed to the bench, and John goes, no, we want Weatherington out. And now for St. John's, it'll be Lichtenberg checking in. Now the official heads to the scorer's table saying, did you get that all straight? 55.7 on the clock. Lorain down by 1. Both sides up on their feet here at Savage Hall. What a titanic clash this has been. St. John's at 23-3, Lorain at 21-5.
Both teams defensively have been fantastic tonight.
So Lorain has 1 foul to give, down by 1. Christie will inbound here on the near sideline. Ryan Christie, the 6'1 senior, looking. Has stolen away by Davis. Davis stole the ball for Lorain. The Titans have it. And a timeout taken by Lorain. Cameron Davis stole the ball. Lorain has it. Timeout, 44-43. Lorain down 1 on our Cleveland Clinic tournament cage matchup.
Ohio State is saving lives every day. This is Ohio State.
We're the economic engine of the state. A major employer.
Over 60,000 students. We're on the forefront of cancer research. An educational core of Ohio.
Impacting tens of thousands daily. Our alumni organization is nearly 500,000 worldwide.
This is Ohio State.
This is Ohio State. Ohio State.
This is the Ohio State University.
Lorain with the basketball. Down by 1 with 50 seconds to go. They get it in to Devon Grant. And Grant will bring it up against Vincent Williams. Grant in between the circles. Grant near the half-court line. Spins out of a double team, and they call a foul. And Devon Grant goes back to the line with 40 seconds to go. They came hard on a double team, and Devon spun out. He got bodied up.
Yeah, a lot of kids are going to lose the ball on that. He was so quick, he was able to get that out of there.
And King has just fouled out. Houston King has just fouled out for St. John's.
And ironically, they had Vincent Williams guarding Grant so that he didn't pick up his 5th foul, but then it was Houston King that came over to get in the trap and picked up that foul.
Devon Grant line right with exactly 40 seconds to go.
And Houston King, an 89% free throw shooter, out of the game.
Here's Grant, shooting 1 and 1. 40 seconds on the clock. Lorain down by 1. Grant, first one up. We're tied! (44-44). 40 seconds to go. Devon Grant, right down below, sends it up and in. Lorain leads it by 1. Lorain up by 1, 45-44. 35 seconds away from Columbus. Williams to the foul line, and he lost the ball, but he got it back. Williams double team, and they'll call a foul on Lorain. Now they had one to give.
Ooh.
They almost took it from Williams, but he got it back, and then a foul was called, but it does not put Lorain over the limit.
With King on the bench, I think you got to double Williams. And I think that's what Coach Rossitano was trying to yell out in that possession.
27.9 to go. Lorain is up by a point, 45-44. That was the 16th foul on Lorain High. Peyton Moyer will inbound in front of the scorers table. Moyer looking, he can't get it in. Timeout, St. John's will take a break. Lorain by 1 with 27.9 on the clock in the Cleveland Clinic tournament cage matchup.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yes, for a nicer day, huh?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Gonna get some big ones. Anybody want to wear a life jacket?
I'm good.
No life jacket? That's a deal breaker.
Daddy, you promised.
Daniel Stevens.
Yeah, give me one of those life jackets.
This message brought to you by the National Safe Boating Council and the women who nag you. Love you.
Lorain's up by 1 with 27.9 to go. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. St. John's will inbound in front of the scorers table. Troy, what do you look for?
Well, I'm looking for 2 guys on Williams, not let him touch it, make somebody else beat you.
Here we go. Moyer to throw it in for St. John's. Got it in to Williams at the half-court line. Williams matched up against Tavon Pierre-Louis. Williams on the right wing. Williams had it knocked out of his hands. It's loose on the floor. Wetherington had it. Then he lost it. It went out of bounds, and it belongs to St. John's. A mad scramble down on the baseline, and it went off Lorain High with 16 seconds to go. Moyer will inbound. Moyer looking. Got it out front to Williams. 15 on the clock. Lorain by 1. Williams, left side. Now they get it to Moyer on the baseline. Back to Williams. Williams drives the lane. Shot, no. Rebound. Loose. Lorain has it. Lorain has it and fouled in the backcourt with 4.2 to go. Devon Grant. Lorain up by 1. And Grant heading to the line. Lorain is 4.2 seconds away from the Schottenstein Center.
What a play defensively by Lorain. David Wetherington stepping in. You knew it was going to Williams. He had 3 guys on him. Pierre-Louis did a great job also going straight up on that.
Devon Grant shooting 1 and 1. First one up and in.
All right, here we go. If he makes this, are we fouling? And I think you are. I think you got to foul off the dribble. You cannot let them tie this up with a 3 ball.
Grant has given Lorain a 2-point lead. Grant, line right, good on the second. Timeout, Lorain. John wants a full timeout. Lorain is up 3, 4.2 to Columbus on the Cleveland Clinic tournament cage matchup on WEOL and Troy Online.
At WEOL.com.
The Warriors to Work program makes it possible for wounded warriors and their families to build new lives together.
When my dad left, I was like this big, but now I'm like this big. My dad got
a master's degree, and in human resources.
Thanks to Warriors to Work that my dad has a terrific job.
The Wounded Warrior Project helps him by, giving him another start.
Now that my dad's home, I get a lot more hugs.
I'm really proud of him.
Find out more about Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
4.2 to go. Christie runs it, throws it into Williams. Williams got it, and he threw it behind Christie. And the buzzer sounds. That's the ball game. That's the ball game. Lorain is Final Four bound. The ball got away in the backcourt. Unbelievable. The Titans are heading to Columbus. Can you believe it? They have come to Savage Hall, and they have knocked off Toledo St. John's 47-44. What an unbelievable story. And the Titans will play at least one more. They're heading to Columbus for a game on Friday against Cincinnati Moeller.
Unbelievable. This is what March Madness is all about right here. What an effort by Lorain. What a game plan. You hold this team to 44 points. Oh my gosh. Great job, and hats off to Coach Rossitano and his Titans.
Unbelievable. Nobody would have believed it except, as I said Wednesday night, those guys in blue. Unbelievable. Lorain High is Final Four bound. 47-44. The Titans have knocked out the Titans of St. John's here in Toledo. Lorain at 22-5, heading to the Final Four. St. John's sees their season end at 23-4. Whoa, what a post-game celebration we'll have. Stay with us on our Cleveland Clinic Tournament Cage matchup on WEOL, on your phone with the mobile app and Troy Online.
At WEOL.com.
I started mentoring my mentee, Dantre, 4 years ago. I always thought about doing it, it always seemed like a good idea.
We were both nervous when we first met, but everything kind of fell into place.
Mentoring is important, and anyone that's pretty fortunate in life to have a little bit of time to pass on that knowledge.
Etienne's a very close friend. I look at him as a brother and a father figure. He taught me just focus on the big picture because I would like to give back just like Etienne gave back to me. Be someone who matters to someone who matters.
y'all. Hey, he told y'all. He told y'all. He told y'all.
Oh, there's going to be some parties in the city of Lorain tonight. The Titans from Lorain High, Final Four bound. John Rossitano and this unbelievable group of young men are heading to the Jerome Schottenstein Center on Friday to take on Cincinnati Moeller in the Division I state semifinal. Lorain in heart-pounding fashion, fighting the odds here at Savage Hall, knocks off Toledo St. John's 47-44, and Lorain High is heading to the Final Four at the Schottenstein Center on Friday. Tim Elkhorn along with Troy DeFranco, Gary Pelter here at Savage Hall. Great job by Steve Bailey back in the studios of WEOL. And what a celebration that's going on right now down on the floor. The ladders are up, the nets will be cut. And Lorain High is heading to the Final Four, the first Lorain County high school basketball team to advance to the Final Four since Open Door under Alan Januzzi. Did it back in 2001. What an unbelievable story. Troy DeFranco, what an effort by Lorain High here this afternoon. They held Toledo St. John's to 17 second half points, only 7 in the fourth quarter of play. Their guys were saddled with foul problems. They battled through it. Again, a masterful job, unbelievable coaching job by John Rossitano.
Yeah, we came into this game talking about how good St. John's was defensively, but Lorain really stepping up on the defensive end and contributions all across the board. They had foul trouble the whole night. Oh my goodness, I mean, what a game, what a game. Chance for these kids to go to Columbus, and to think that 5 starters graduated from this Lorain team last year to be going down to states. Unbelievable.
And only 1 senior starter on this year's club. Just an incredible performance by Devon Grant, the junior, with 29 points, 21 of which came in the second half of play. He had 11 in the third quarter and 10 in the fourth quarter, hit 4 monumental free throws down the stretch, and Lorain somehow is heading to Columbus to play in the state semifinal in Division I on Friday. What an incredible journey this has been. There's nothing like high school tournament basketball.
It's why you play the game. This is why these kids are in their driveways shooting the basketball all year long. This is what you dream of. Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a timeout. So much more to come on our post-game show. We've got individual numbers. We've got stats. We're going to try to get John to come on up here and join us. What a game. What a moment. Incredible. 47-44. Lorain over St. John's here at Savage Arena. The Lorain High Titans. Yes, I'm not sure many people thought it would be that Titan team. Lorain High will represent Lorain County in the Final Four in Columbus on Friday. They'll take on Cincinnati Moeller. Lorain High with an unbelievable 47-44 win over Toledo St. John's in this regional championship game here in Toledo. It will be Lorain High at 22-5, playing on Friday afternoon at 5:15 against Cincinnati Moeller. Toledo St. John's bows out with a record of 23-4. What a game this was. As we await John Rossitano, I don't want to get into a full recap of it until John comes up here and joins us as the big redhead makes his way up the steps. An emotional John Rossitano, and you think about everything that he has been through in the city of Lorain as far as coaching this basketball team and taking this program to the heights that it now enjoys, a Final 4 appearance. It will be Lorain High taking on Cincinnati Moeller on Friday night. John now joins us. We're going to give him a handheld mic here. Gary, can you stretch that over? Moeller. John, let's put the headsets on you and have you grab the microphone there. Again, just an unbelievable performance by your basketball team today. But just talk about what this means to Lorain, to the community, to the school. Wow, unbelievable.
You know, matter of fact, I just saw Mitch Gillum Sr. down there, and I told him it's been 30 years coming, and you can't describe the feeling of winning a game to go to state. I don't want this feeling to ever end, and I'm sure the 12 guys in blue out there feel the same way, if not better. It's to come in here and beat this team on their basically home court with that, it's just unbelievable. And yeah, I don't even, Jim, I'm speechless. For once.
Yeah. Just an incredible moment, and again, the effort that your team put forth here this afternoon. You hold Toledo St. John's to 44, 17 points for that team in the second half of play. Just talk about this team and their defensive effort and how they were able to do it.
I think, Tim, the key is we put a game plan together, and it's easy to put one together, but you got to have guys that are willing to buy in and then follow through and execute it. And we put a game plan, they follow through, they execute it, and that's what you do to a team like this. You hold them to 44 points to give yourself a chance.
So many huge plays.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously, the one that Troy and I thought was big, Cam Davis, you get him in on the timeout or on the stoppage and play, and he makes the huge steal for you.
And that's what he's in the game for, just to make them little steal here and there, just to be a little mad out there. And again, Tim, when you're playing 6 guys in this kind of environment, I mean, they were dead tired. You could see it. They were exhausted. But the heart and the character of these kids is just unmatched, and that's what I'm most proud of. I'd have been saying the same thing if we lost the game tonight. How hard they played, the heart, the effort, what they did is, again, yeah, Tim, you're right. It's great for the school, the city, and I see all these Lorain people down here. They're just so happy that, we're going to state, and that it's unbelievable.
People were talking about Vincent Williams, and he's a special player.
My God.
Don't get me wrong, 19, King before he fouls out with 15. You got a premier player in your own right in Devon Grant. I have him unofficially for 29.
Is that what he had? Yeah.
21 in the second half.
Yeah, he knows when it's game time, and that's what money players do. They know when they need to score and when they need to start playing. And the second half, again, he was the best player in the court the second half, and he showed it. And we need that from him. And just a great overall effort by our guys in blue.
First of all,
Troy, I'm sorry.
Congratulations, John.
Yeah.
As I came down to the floor and I was looking and you were hugging the Lorain people, I saw a lot of tears in the stands. That's what it means to this city. And, for this school to be able to come down here and have a chance to go to Columbus, fantastic.
It's a struggling school. And we get a bad rap, but there's one thing about not even just our players, but Lorain kids are very resilient. What they go through, it's just I'm just so proud of everybody that came out to support us, and the guys that Tim, it's just Troy, I can't even describe the feeling I have right now. It's just we get to play another week and go to Columbus. You always go down there as a coach, watch other teams play, and you say, gosh dang, just one time as a coach, as a team, we want to go down there and play in that kind of environment. And now it's real, and it'll sink in at some point, but it's just I don't know.
How about the effort from Jordan Jackson, the sophomore, tonight? He did not play like a sophomore.
No, and I think he was upset because he didn't play particularly well on Wednesday, and he has something to prove, and he played extremely well tonight, made some big baskets for us. He executed exactly what he wanted in the second half defensively, and he came up big, and again, everybody contributed. It's a team win. And Lorain is definitely a proud city right now.
John, I want to say to you, and not just because you're standing here, the way you coached these last 2 games were masterpieces.
Yeah.
I mean, it turned into a chess match, as it often does come regional time. And again, I know you've got Mitch on there.
Yeah,
and
no,
you've got Coach Killian down there with you, but you guys put together game plans that were just incredible.
Mitch and Killian, they do a great job, and we get together. And you got some great basketball minds there, and it takes a bunch of people. And yeah, we had to manipulate the game a little bit because we're thin. We got 6 guys, maybe 7 a little bit, but we have to manipulate the game. We have to hold it a little bit just to give our guys a blow, just to keep them rested. But we knew, and we told them, if it's a close game with 3 minutes to go, we're going to win the game because we got the best player on the court, and when you got the best guard on the court, it's your advantage in close games down the stretch, and that's what happened.
You mentioned, and again, before we let you go, I know a lot of people, the pride in the city of Lorain. It's a prideful city, and it's been stung the past couple of decades. But boy, what this means to your city and your community.
Yeah, it's huge, and you know, these kids here have done. This will do a lot for our school and our city, and you know, now everybody in the state is again looking at Lorain, saying, man, Lorain does have good kids, and it's just a big thing for everybody involved, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
I want you to go celebrate
it.
But
Tim, thanks a lot.
Unbelievable accomplishment.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations.
Okay, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Columbus?
We'll be there.
Okay, we'll see you there.
Yeah, we'll be there, John. We'll be there. Lorain High heading to the Final Four off a thrilling 47-44 win in the regional final against Toledo St. John.
This has been a production of Lorain City Schools TV 20 WLCS.